Hey guys, just a reminder, this is not official medical advice or such. Please seek an appointment with a licensed medical provider.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Dive Into Diet on Performance Medicine TV. I'm with the star of the show, Lucas Schmidt. Lucas, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
About to be New Year.
Close. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're heading towards 2025.
That's weird.
It's weird to think about. And obviously, this time of year, you know, whether you're listening to this in January, late December, mid-January, you're all thinking about New Year's resolutions. Talk to me a little bit about that, Lucas. How are you coaching your clients? How are you going about this as a nutrition coach?
First, to talk about New Year's resolution. Not all of us make them. I don't always make them. But I think that the allure of them is that, it's a new year, so it's going to be a new me, and everybody gets excited after the holidays. They've eaten kind of what they want. They've sat around at Christmas break. Not everybody, of course. Not everybody has that luxury, but most people do. And but January hits, the work weeks, work starts. There's a newness to each new year. So I think there's a lot of excitement there. I'm going to list a couple of reasons why most New Year's resolutions fail, because they usually do, and maybe offer some ideas on how to change or temper your resolution to make it more realistic. The main reasons they fail is a lack of planning. We don't really plan how we're going to execute. A lack of accountability. We maybe don't inform anybody around us of them. We might announce that we're doing them, but I think it's a nice idea to find someone to do it with you, like whatever the task is, or a family member, a friend, anybody, because without the accountability, it's really difficult if you're having a rough day to make sure that you still follow the resolution. Another big one is lofty expectations. So I think I've heard resolutions like, I'm going to lose 60 pounds, or I'm going to work out 7 days a week, or, these are people who don't work it at all. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna get a gym membership, and I'm just gonna, I'm gonna be a new human by February, or by May, by summer, I'm gonna have a summer body, So lofty expectations, lack of willpower. This kind of ties in with the accountability thing, but lack of willpower means the only thing that motivates us is the excitement of the newness, which wears off in like 2 weeks. So, and once that's gone, our willpower is no longer there, and we don't want to do it. It's not fun anymore, so we quit. And then a lack of knowledge. And I think the lack of knowledge also ties into lofty expectations. People make these big goals not understanding what really will be required to meet them. Or they may not know how to meet the goal. They just think, if I go work out, it doesn't really matter what I do, it's going to be great. So, or if I eat certain things, it's going to be great. So also a lack of knowledge makes it more daunting. If you don't really know what to do, you can become overwhelmed and quit. So, and then the final one is a lack of specificity. So I think goals related to health should be incredibly specific. So instead of saying something like, I'm going to go to the gym more. I'm going to go to the gym more. That's a nice idea. That's great to do. What does more mean? There's a lack of specificity. So, and in your mind, subconsciously or consciously, that gives us permission to change what that more means whenever we feel like it, or if it's convenient. If the goal isn't specific, it's really easy for us to talk ourselves out of doing it because we find loopholes. Well, I didn't say 5 times a week. I said more, which I'm doing 0, so that means 1. I know this because I've done this. I do this to myself. So I'm a great negotiator with myself. So what I'm going to do now is, for the next just a couple minutes, we're going to do more of this. The next episode on this will be all specific goals and maybe how to tailor them to be realistic. But I'll give you a couple examples of goals I've heard or I've read, and feel free to, Ben, if you think of any that you know of that you want me to contraindicate, make more realistic.
Yep.
Eat less junk food is a kind of a general goal I've heard or read. And that's a good idea, but I think to be more specific, I would say, and to be more realistic, I would say, switch junk food for alternatives. So instead of saying, I'm just not going to eat this, find something that's a substitute for the this that you need to get rid of. And secondly, instead of saying junk food as a category, pick your main junk food that you're stuck on, like just one of them for now. So if somebody drinks 3 Coca-Colas a day, that's junk food. That's, it's way too much sugar. Instead of saying, I'm just not going to drink, so where I'm downgrading at multiple levels, I'm making it more specific, more realistic, and here's how you do that. So from eat less junk food or drink less junk food. First, you'd say, well, okay, what's a junk food I actually drink? Coca-Cola. So now we're more specific. Okay, Coca-Cola. How often do I drink it? I drink it 3 days a week, 7 days a week. So if I say, well, I'm not going to drink Coke anymore, is that realistic? No, it's not realistic. No, you have to start with, I'm going to go from 3 to 2 a day. Some change is better than none.
Yep.
Or if you want to go cold turkey, I'm a cold turkey guy. I like to cut things out completely all at once. But that's challenging. So what I might do is find a substitute that's not bad for me. So with Coke, it's pretty easy. Or let's say like Sprite. Sprite's your soda that you like. I would like Sprite more than Coke personally. I would go and find like carbonated water, like LaCroix. They have flavored ones, lemon ones. I get that, buy some monk fruit, put a few drops in it. It's sweet again without the actual sugar. And I get my soda fix, but I'm not drinking the crap.
Right.
And so that way you're not actually using any willpower. You're just swapping them out, and now you're drinking something that's delicious and still gives you your soda fix. So those are ways to modify the junk food. You got to make it more specific. Pick a junk food. Find a substitute, okay? And then eventually, you might over 4 to 6 months be able to wean off and completely eliminate it. But you got to be more realistic, if that makes sense.
And also, Lucas, like that activates dopamine as well. Like if you can set these small things that you win, you're going to get a little dopamine hit. It's going to go to the next day.
Yeah. Well, and it also, that dopamine hit will help substitute for the dopamine you're losing from not getting your fix from the junk food, because you get dopamine from junk food.
Yeah.
And that's hard. That's the hardest part. That's why people don't understand why they're addicted to something, is their brain goes, ooh, every time. You get a little high from it. So it's really challenging. But be specific and be realistic. So that's just an example of how I would alter that goal. The next one would be eat more vegetables. I've heard that. I need to eat more vegetables. I just need to do that. Yeah. I've talked about fiber before, so I'm not going to make this a nutritional conflict about vegetables and fiber. So let's just assume, yes, vegetables are great for you as an individual. Some people's guts don't like it, but let's say it is, because there are a lot of nutrients in vegetables. Instead of just saying that generally, because it's not realistic. You're not going to just fall in love with vegetables. First of all, you need to personally sit down and go, let me make a list of vegetables I actually enjoy the taste of. A lot of people hate certain vegetables, and they make themselves eat it, thinking it's good for them. It may nutritionally be good for them, but if they are punishing themselves with a miserable meal, they're not going to do it for very long. First, isolate the ones you like, okay? Once you've done that, or at least you could make palatable, Then set a weekly quota, not a daily quota. Most people, when they say I need to eat more vegetables, they sit down and they try to eat several vegetables every single day. No, just say, I'm going to have 2 servings of vegetables a week. And I know that's not many, but it's better than none. And that's, to me, a more realistic goal, a weekly quota as opposed to a daily one. So that's a way to modify that goal. The last one I have for this episode is eat more fresh/whole foods. That's a common one I hear. I'm going to eat more whole foods. Okay. My first advice to somebody who doesn't know how to do that, because a lot of people don't, that's not to be arrogant. It's just a lack of, people just don't care generally, is you need to make your goal not that. You need to read 1 nutrition label per visit to the grocery store. Just 1. Actually read what's on the box. Okay? Get in the habit of doing that. To me, that's a realistic goal. That's not changing what you're eating, not right now. But what it is doing is equipping you with an understanding of food, which will help you make better decisions a long time from now. After that, I would say, I made this one pretty specific. After you understand how to read a nutrition label, then aim for foods with 5 ingredients or less. And then, after you've gotten used to that, aim for foods with 3 ingredients or less. And then you can aim for foods with 2 to 1 ingredients. And then, and the frequency I would do that would be 2 days a week. Not all 7 days, not starting, right? Then increase to 3 days, then to 4 days, et cetera, et cetera. And that, to me, is how you introduce the whole food eating pattern. Is First, you need to even know what's on the label. Unless you just want to go cold turkey again and eat just fresh fruits and vegetables. But I think it's better to understand what's in the foods.
Man, that's such a habit that you can take with you and you can build upon.
Right.
There's
There's the whole
habit
rule of
looking.
like shop the perimeter of their store, not the middle. Right. Sometimes it's true, but not at Aldi. Grocery stores are laid out differently, but also that doesn't mean that everything in the frozen area and everything in the middle area is bad for you. That's an oversimplified approach to the grocery store, because what they're saying is buy only fruit, meat, and dairy. And that's generally okay, and vegetables. But there's frozen fruit. Frozen fruit's great. It's cheaper too, by the way, and it keeps longer in the freezer, and it was frozen right after being picked as opposed to sitting in a truck, unfrozen, traveling over long distances. There are advantages. You just have to explore the grocery store before
That's
you just make
interesting.
snap judgments. So, but yeah, those are some. I have some other ones. The next next episode will be more fitness related. So we'll talk about how to alter your fitness goals.
Guys, stay tuned. Part 2 is coming up as we head into 2025 and beyond. One, I just want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I want to wish you a Happy New Year,
Thank you,
Lucas.
you as well.
Thank you for being with us today. Guys, I hope you got a lot out of this. We'll see you next week.
Don't go away.